Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner. So once again, I have to apologize for not uploading yesterday. I was so exhausted. I just fell asleep for 12 hours, and I was so exhausted from this entire week. On top of my aunt and everything that was connected to her, I had a very hectic clinic as well. You know, the winter, although it's not, we don't have a very heavy winter here, the winter illnesses do hit hard, and especially with the children, it's very difficult these months of the year. So I've been working double time. Every day that I need to be in the clinic for at least for like 3 hours, I was there for 6 hours. Every time I was double time in the clinic, so it was really hard and difficult. Okay, so next week is not going to be easier because my partner is taking a week off and I will have to fill in for her. So it's going to be even more difficult. But I decided that today I'm going to do a deep dive into King Charles. And after the coming out of the book Spare, it looked like for a few days King Charles kept his profile down, and then he started coming out. He and Camilla went out to church. He looked happy. It didn't look like anything bothered him, although we do know that he doesn't seem to share outside his inner feelings, and I'm sure that inside he felt completely different. He then went for engagements. He did cooperate and did those engagements in a very good way, and lately he decided to give the nation the proceeds of a windmill farm that belongs to the monarchy, and instead of getting the proceeds of that windmill farm to the royal family, he decided to give it to the nation. Something that I already saw people laughing about Meghan being very angry about where is her cut in that. But it seems like things are business as usual for King Charles. And in between there are rumors of reconciliation. There is one royal reporter, Royanika, that keeps claiming that King Charles does want a reconciliation with Prince Harry before the coronation. He doesn't want the coronation to be tainted by this feud. But as Neil Sean said even this morning, Prince Harry has a very long list of grievances, at least 12 points of things that he wants a royal apology before he even sits to discuss any kind of reconciliation with his family. Things that I don't think that are even feasible for the royal family to apologize. I mean, why the royal family need to apologize for the media calling out Meghan or Meghan and Harry for their lies, for things that they lied and were caught lying. So I'm going to look into King Charles' feelings and the things that he's afraid of, things that he wants. And of course, the best way to do that is by doing a Celtic Cross. Actually, my teacher says that the Celtic Cross is the only good spread to use in order to make to go through all of the everything that you can ask about a person. The best way to do that is by a Celtic Cross. So I'm using this beautiful English Magic Tarot deck. This is a kind of a rare tarot deck. I found it on eBay. It's in a pristine condition. It's of course secondhand. Most of my decks are secondhand from eBay because many of the decks that I was looking for are not printed anymore. So I looked for them on eBay or other secondhand places, and sometimes on Etsy, sometimes on AbeBooks. Even the Oracle deck is a secondhand one, so I got it without the box, so that's why I put this little pamphlet here. So this is I thought that it would be nice to use this for King Charles. It is the English Magic Tarot, so it is good to use it for King Charles. So let's start by saying my disclaimer. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. So let's just finish that and clear the deck. Okay, so let's clear the deck. And let's start asking. So King Charles' current situation, his current feelings, the things that are his current obstacles, the way he feels about his son, the way he wants to deal with his problems, what are his hopes, what are his fears. King Charles' current feelings, current situation, his current obstacles, fears, hopes. What can we see for him in the future? What can we see about his dealings with his son and with the allegations that his son put out against him? King Charles' current situation, current feelings, current hopes and fears and obstacles. Okay, so let's cut the deck. The first card is a card that shows us the present situation of King Charles. And the card that I'm getting is the Seven of Coins. Seven of Coins is a card of disappointment from reality. Disappointment from reality and the willingness to do whatever you can in order to reach the truth. Now, this is a card of someone who is really willing to do whatever he can to better things, to make things better. This is a person who is disappointed from what he has right now, and this is not about money. This is about the situation as it is. So he is disappointed from what happened with his son, with Harry, what happened with everything that is connected to the way that Harry grew up, not only with the way that we see him with after he got married, but everything that is connected with his drug abuse, with maybe even the allegations that are connected with his violence and the fact that the palace has to cover up for those things. So this is a disappointment from everything that is connected to that, but this is a disappointment from the reality of things as they are right now. And the only thing that I can think of right now that is causing this disappointment is Prince Harry. But maybe he's also disappointed from his role as a king. I don't know. Maybe he's disappointed from the fact that Camilla was attacked in the book as well. Maybe he thought that Prince Harry will spare Camilla. But this is a card that shows that he is even ready to do a very hard to do things that are difficult for him, even end relationships, even cut out someone completely from his life. So this card is not showing any kind of willingness to sit and reconcile with Harry. On the other way around, it shows the willingness to cut him out, to end that relationship. Now, on the other hand, this card also shows a fear of failure. It shows that he's avoiding things. He's avoiding dealing with things. So, and it shows also that he is paying for past mistakes. So this current situation is also a result of his past mistakes, as a father. And he realizes that. So he's disappointed not only of Prince Harry, but also of himself and the way that Prince Harry turned out. Okay, so what are the obstacles that are in his way? And what we're getting here is the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is the card that represents the media usually, because that's the reporter. But it is also a card of someone who is slicked tongue, someone who is very good in verbal communication. So that could also be the royal aides, that could also be the courtiers, the people that are good in talking, the people that are good in communication, the people that are doing the communication. So those people are standing in his way. So I could say that King Charles is probably willing to do things that might not be the right things to do, and the courtiers are stopping him. And that could very much be a good thing for the monarchy. But for King Charles, he feels that it's stopping him. On the other way, it could be the media, and the fact that the media are coming out with all sorts of excerpts from the book, excerpts from the interviews that Harry has made, all sorts of social media allegations, and these things are things that he needs to handle, and he needs to handle in the right way. So when it comes in the obstacle, we need to look at the negative aspects of this card, and it shows that he feels danger and he's in this survival mode. He feels that he is feels that he feels that it's difficult for him to deal with everything. This is a card of someone who feels betrayed, someone who is feeling that he needs a change in the relationship with the media or those courtiers. And this is another card of someone that will end a relationship. So that could also be ending a relationship with his son. Once again, I'm not saying that he will end that relationship, that he will decide to go out and say to Prince Harry, well, for me, you are done. I'm done with you. You can go and do whatever you want. You're not a prince anymore. You're not a duke anymore. And this is something that we are all fantasizing about. But I'm not sure that he will do that. But he's pondering about that. He's thinking about that. So these things are there and are. These things are. Challenging him. So he has those thoughts. Those thoughts are in his mind and are challenging him. Okay, the next card is the card of the subconscious. So the subconscious is going here, and we have the Ace of Coins. And the Ace of Coins is the card of being able to get your needs realized in the material world. So this is about not only money, but this is about getting his needs realized. This is about getting what he needs. And this is about going to the next step. This is about becoming a king for him. This is about thinking long term. So this is about his plans for the monarchy. This is about what he decided, for example, about the windmill farm and his plans for Britain and for Britain to get her needs. So when he talked about, for example, in his Christmas speech about the cost of living, about the hardships that the British people are facing, this is something that is in his subconscious. He's thinking about, or is not even thinking about it, is mostly it's in his automatic subconscious feeling that he needs to take care of the British people, of the hardships, of the needs of everyone as a king. So this is about taking care of everyone. This is why he decided to give the money of that windmill farm. This is his automatic feeling that he needs to take care of that it's part of his job to take care of the British people, to make sure that people are not hungry, that people have their needs. So this is what the Ace of Coins is all about. It's about having the needs met. Now, his needs are met. He has his needs, but he's thinking about the collectives, not only himself. So this is his subconscious. What is in his conscious mind? And the card that I'm getting here is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is a card that speaks about being very, very dealing with the things that are important and putting aside all of the things that are not important, being very focused. So he knows that he needs to be focused on the important things and leave aside all the trivial things. This is his goal. He is focused on his goals. He has his goals, and he's putting his ego aside. This is what the Seven of Wands is telling us. This is about putting the ego aside. This is about focusing on the goals, focusing on the things that are important. This is about making sure that you're not making mistakes, that you are concentrated, that you're not confused, not getting lost in the details. So mostly not letting the shenanigans of Harry and Meghan hinder his job as a king, not letting that hinder his objectives as a king. So all of those things that Harry and Meghan are trying to do in their in that book, all of those things are the trivial things that are trying to divert King Charles from his main goals, which are taking care of the British people, being a king, his goals as a king, what he has, what the things that are important for him. So in his conscious minds, he keeps telling himself, I need to be very much focused on the things that are important to me, put aside all of the things that are disturbances, all of the things that are not important, just put them aside because they are disturbances that are hindering my job, that they are not helping me. So this is his conscious. Okay. Next card is what can we see about his past. And what we're getting here is the Chariot. The Chariot is all about fighting for your dreams. This is about a dream that can become reality. This is about going all the way for your dreams. Now, King Charles has been waiting to be king for a long time, and he has been he hasn't given up on that dream of being a king, although during that time there were a lot of calls for him to step aside, not to be the king, to let William be the king instead. There were a lot of voices against him because of what happened to Princess Diana, because of his affair with Queen Camilla. So he had to fight for his dream. He had to fight to get his dream a reality, to make it a reality. But he did not give up for any price. This is what this card is all about. It's about not giving up for any price. It's about acting decisively, being direct even through quarrels. This is about working through difficulties. Now, during that time, he did a lot of things. The Prince's Trust, a lot of things that were part of him trying to make his dream come true. So trying to rehabilitate his image. These are all things that he had done as part of him fighting for his dream to become king. So this was in his past. He fought for his dream. He did whatever he could to make his dream a reality. What can we see for the near future? And for the near future, what we can see is the Ten of Wands, which is not an easy card because this is the near future and we see an overload. So it is way too much for him to handle. The Ten of Wands is a card of carrying too much. This is about taking too much upon himself. So this could be all of the allegations that Harry is spewing. Could be all of the hardship that comes out from his role as king. Altogether, it is too much. So because it is way too much, it could lead to self-destruction. So this is mainly a warning card. This is a card that tells King Charles to be very careful in not taking too much upon himself, not going into the self-destructive road. This is a card that is telling him to be very careful, to look at his tomorrow in a very and select the things that he needs to deal with, and to listen to advice, to be in a survival mode, and to choose the things that he is dealing with. And really, this is why he have the Seven of Wands, because if he does really fight all of those wands that are coming in his way, the things that are not as important, then he will not end up in the Ten of Wands. So these two cards are just interlinked. He needs to be able to execute the Seven of Wands in order to not end in the Ten of Wands. So he knows that. This is why it's in his conscious mind, but he needs to successfully execute it. He needs to successfully be able to put aside all of those unimportant things that are coming his way, especially from Prince Harry. So he needs to be very selective on the things that he is dealing with and the things that he's not dealing with, in order to not collapse, in order to not self-destruct. Okay, the next card is his internal influences. And what I'm getting here is the High Priestess. So these are all the secrets and the mysteries that are being kept. And I am going here very, off, but I'm thinking about all of the secrets that are probably being kept in regard to Harry, but maybe there are other secrets as well. The High Priestess is a card of mystery. It's a card of secrets. It's also a card of someone who needs or it's a card that speaks about mental health. It's also a card that speaks about the mother, and we know that King Charles had a very special bond to his mother. But in this instance, I think that it's mainly, and we see that in this card, the water element is very, very strong. So I think that this is about all of the secrets that are being kept inside of this big pond. I think that these are the emotions that are being kept. I think that this is about the mental health problems that are not being talked about, and this is not about King Charles' mental health. It's about other people's mental health, but it's altogether about secrets, about mysteries that King Charles and the royal families are keeping, and that is internal influences. This is something that is very much influencing King Charles and the way that he is acting. So I am hinting here towards all of the secrets that we all think that we know, and maybe they are true. And that is about children, it's about maybe violence claims, other even worse than violence claims, quite a lot of claims and things that came up, especially in Quora, things that I put in my community post, things that Bookworm 2 spoke about. I think that all of those things are being here in coming up in this card of the High Priestess. It's not a coincidence that the High Priestess came here in the internal influences. Okay, external influences. And external influences, that could be the courtiers, that could be the British people, the press. So the external influences is the Fool. And the Fool, and that is how the people of British people, how the media, how other people see him. And he's been seen as the fool. Now, it doesn't mean that they see him as a fool, but they do see him as someone who is very much needs freedom, and someone who will take risks without obligation, someone who may be maybe even be sometimes reckless and hasty, someone who might be agitated, and that is maybe from the courtiers. And we saw a glimpse to that with the pen that leaked. Someone who has some kinds of frustrations, or exhibits some kinds of frustrations. Sometimes someone who ignores obstacles and that doesn't want to deal with obstacles. So I think that this is the main thing that the British people are angry about. They are angry that King Charles is not dealing with the main obstacle here, that is Prince Harry. They are dealing that he's not. They are angry that he's not doing anything. That it seems to everyone that he is just ignoring things. Then this is exactly what the Fool is all about. This is about the person that ignores obstacles, the person that ignores things that are difficult around him, the person that is doing reckless things, person that is agitated, a person that sometimes is, this is not a bad card, but it is sometimes a person that would take risks without obligations. Sometimes he can be reckless and hasty. So I think that this is these are things that are seen by different population of people, because there are the courtiers who know him better than the British people. There are the press that know another side of him, but all of these things are combining together to the card of the Fool, and the way that he's been seen by the external population, or the external influences, that people outside of. Okay, hopes and fears. So what is he hopeful for, or what is he afraid of? And what we're getting here is the Six of Swords. Okay, so the Six of Swords is the card of a vacation. So I would say that he's hopeful for a vacation from everything that is going around right now with Harry. He is hopeful that Harry and Meghan would stay there where they are. He doesn't want them back. He's really hopeful that they would say that they don't want to come to the coronation. The Six of Swords is a card of someone who either is going away to a vacation or is coming back. He doesn't want them to come back. He wants them to stay there. He wants them to be there. He doesn't want them to come back. He is hoping for a very, very long vacation from Harry and Meghan. He doesn't want a vacation that means not having them coming out with anything new, that once the whole storm with around Spare subsides, that they will shut up for at least after the coronation. And he hopes that they will decide not to come. He has to invite them. He will invite them, but he hopes that they will not, that they will decide not to come. And this is why we get the Six of Swords here, because it has a double meaning here. It has a meaning of vacation from something. It also has a meaning of going abroad or staying abroad, or not coming back or coming back. So he doesn't want them to come back. So he's hopeful that they will stay there. He's afraid that they will decide to take the boat and come back. And he is hopeful for a vacation from them. Okay, so what can we see for the final outcome? And the final outcome is the Page of Coins. So the Page of Coins is actually not a bad card. It is a card of someone who is very organized, someone who is very orderly, someone who knows how to work, someone who goes with the flow, someone who who knows how to keep himself healthy, how to keep himself fit, someone who is pedantic, someone who is adhering to things as they are because he doesn't like to change things. So actually we see someone who does the job that he needs to do in a precise way. He does it in a good way. He's a very orderly person, someone who is very precise, someone who is very fit, someone who's very organized, someone who's very pedantic. So we see actually a very good prospect for King Charles for the future. And it seems like this whole debacle with Harry will not influence his ability to be the best king that he can be. So this shows that he will be able to keep on working in a good way, to do his job in a good way. And once again, we get the pentacle here, which came with the Ace of Pentacle that came in the subconscious influence, because that is one of the things that he mostly care about, and that is getting the needs of the country realized. So that is why we have the Page of Coins here, because that is what matters most for him. Okay, so that is the deep dive into King Charles. So altogether we can see that he's struggling with everything that is connected to Prince Harry, but I do hope that they will decide to clear this up. This card I don't like this card. And I will do a deep dive into Harry, and when I do that, I hope to find out some more. As I say, I am reluctant to do a reading that is going, is asking right through about whether or not he did something, it did the things that are being claimed. But if he did something like that, it will come out in a Celtic Cross. So I will do a deep dive into Harry, and I do hope that we will find something like that. Okay, because there are hints in King Charles's spread. Okay, so I'm using the Botanical Inspiration deck because King Charles is a known botanical he's a known gardener and someone who really likes botanics, so I thought it was something that might speak to King Charles. So let's see what is the oracle's advice for King Charles. Okay, so let's clear the deck. King Charles advice on his way forward. Advice for King Charles on his way forward. Advice for King Charles on his way forward. Okay, so let's find out what kind of card we get. And we got the Daffodil. Okay, that's interesting because Daffodil is the Narcissus card, and A.J. Tudor claims that the King Charles is a narcissist. This is a card of rebirth and new beginnings, and what it says here is new beginnings are often disguised as painful endings. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what the book has to say. Okay, so the message is, now is the time to step into the light, shed your old ways and begin a new phase of your life. Hold yourself in high regard and others will too. Interesting. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.